The Becoming Da Vinci Show is sponsored by the Kinetic Experience, where entrepreneurs go to have even more success and more fun in their business and life. Becoming Da Vinci.
So to learn more about the Becoming Da Vinci Show, visit us at www.becomingdavinchishow.com, where you can learn all sorts of stuff about Leonardo da Vinci and what we are doing to correlate his life and his example with modern day entrepreneurs and self-directed learning.
Becoming Da Vinci.
So I think we talked about it earlier about you when you started talking, we were talking about what you do and everything and associating that rebel title with you. Like one of Leonardo's key things was that he was a rebel and a misfit. And one of our favorite, my absolute favorite quote in Walter Isaacson's book is, above all, Leonardo's relentless curiosity and experimentation should remind us of the importance of instilling in both ourselves and our children, not just received knowledge, but a willingness to question it, to be imaginative, and like talented misfits and rebels in any area, to think different. How does that resonate with you in your life? And
what specifically, what are you questioning right now that is accepted by society?
Oh, geez, that might be a loaded question. I'm going to pause on that.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah, you're trying to dig up some dirt. I'm not sure. I'm thinking on a lot of stuff. I think
I'll take you those answers.
I think that's really valid. I think that coming to your own conclusions is really important. And I know I have an interest in Buddhism. I would not say I'm a Buddhist. I'm trying to eat less and less meat for ethical and environmental reasons and physiological reasons, all of these. But part of Buddhism was that you really should only accept the things that make sense to you. And I'm probably misrepresenting it in 1 or 17 different ways, but that's something that I took away from it. And I felt like that was really impactful because logic cannot be used to talk you out of something if logic was not a part of forming that original opinion. If we inherit an opinion, then we stop having the capacity to really evaluate it properly and it becomes cemented in. I don't know if that's really strange, but I definitely have experienced on quite a few occasions speaking to people who just were unprepared to consider new information on some opinion that they have. And I usually find when I've been given the opportunity to look further into those situations that usually logic was not a part of forming those opinions to begin with. They're relics of either their parents or their social immediate surroundings or what have you. And that directly prevents any sort of personal or social progress. If we stop using logic to reevaluate our opinions and we stop being prepared to be wrong, we have to be prepared to be wrong. And if you're never willing to be wrong, your opinion will never change and then you will never develop. Being wrong should be a victory. When there's a debate and then you're wrong, you walk away and you learn something and you've advanced as a human being as a result of being wrong and accepting it, while the other person just gets a W and then they get to feel cocky about it for the rest of the day, and that's all they get. So, I mean, I really feel like we need to invert that and let people think critically, disagree with others, and still compare notes, but then also be wrong if they've decided that their opinion was not fully well informed. I feel like all of that is really important for that excerpt that you were sharing.
Love it, man. Love it.
Absolutely.
So here's some homework assignments that you can give us. So what are some things that you would recommend ourselves or our listeners to do at home to bring in some of the concepts that we talked about today?
Well, we didn't talk too much about gratitude, but I do quickly want to say that I feel like gratitude is a really, really important psychological mechanism that makes us happy. And I could probably cite some scientific study that agrees with that, but I can't. Somebody can. It's been shared with me that there's a connection there, but I personally have experienced that expressing my gratitude, well, as an art, expressing your gratitude and reflecting on reasons to be grateful can make us all a lot happier. We just appreciate the context that we're within if we can practice our gratitude. So saying thank you a lot, being vocal about thank yous, saying thank you can actually make you happy because it helps remind you that you're grateful. And that's it's an easy thing to practice. So saying lots of thank yous, I think is really effective. And we were also talking about being present and allowing yourself to be wrong. I really don't think that I'm the best person to give anyone any advice necessarily, because I'm still working through obviously a lot of my own things, and we all have our own battles. But if you can just accept being wrong occasionally, in fact, more often than occasionally, be prepared all the time to be wrong and change your opinions. I think you'll be most people will find themselves advancing and being more satisfied within themselves and learning more.
Thank you so much. Those are wonderful.
Yeah.
So I would like to say, for those that are listening, thank you so much for staying with us all the way through this, whether you're on Facebook or, of course, wherever you end up hearing this. If you text Da Vinci to 38470, you'll get a copy of this homework assignment, this little snippet that we just talked about right here. And if you text Kinetic, Kinetic, to 38470, you get information about our wealth wheel, which is the 10 topics that we discussed earlier. Each of those is broken down into 2 little small segments. So for example, purpose, we've broken purpose down into impact and goals. So overall, whatever your purpose is, we really hope that it's obviously positively impacting, those around or the world or however. And so, it's an assessment there about how impactful you feel like you are in your life. And then the goals, like how well are you meeting your goals to live that purpose. So this is an idea of what we do in the Connect Wealth Wheel. It's a free resource, but we're really wanting to change the conversation of wealth and to broaden it to be more than just money. Money is in our wealth wheel, obviously. It's 1 out of 10 topics though. Vulnerability and creativity, fun, love. These are some of the other ones that are in there. So of course, if you're interested, please reach out. Thank you so much.
I want to know how they can reach Dane and all his
That's what I was going to say. Thank you so much for playing with us here today.
Yeah, thank you for talking with me. I feel like we had some really good conversation. I feel like, so we had this little homework assignment. I feel like I wasn't particularly succinct. I guess to be more succinct, say thank you more often. Whenever you're in the shower, remind yourself of 10 things you're grateful for and be willing to be wrong. I feel like if you can do those 3 things.
I'm going to add, and be able to say, I don't know. I think that's something that it's magical 3 words, and it's not used enough. And in online, we're pushing opinions all the time, but there's some shit you just don't know about, and you really don't know enough to have an opinion yet, and it's okay. And just say, I don't know. So I'm going to add that to the homework assignment because I think that's probably something you may agree on.
And also check my Instagram. That's the other part of the homework assignment.
Yeah.
Guys, put the plug in there. Being self-promotion sucks. It feels so awkward, but it's a thing that you just have to do. So I want to do it. Check out my Instagram. I'd love if you saw my artwork. It's
absolutely no. Actually, we that's what Janica was saying. So how can people connect with you? I know Instagram is one of them. We'll drop the name here. Obviously, I know even there you say to connect with you via Instagram. Any other ways that you like people to reach out to you?
Honestly, my primary platform for interacting with people is Instagram, just because I personally don't love social media. I've been doing a little more Facebooking lately, and I'm not sure if it's going to continue or not. But my Instagram is DaynoArt, DaynoArt, and I think all other forms of communication would be channeled probably through there. My Facebook is, my last name is Chobanyan or Chobanian.
So what nationality is that?
It's Armenian, but I'm not sure how to pronounce it. There's an identity crisis happening with that. So that was all.
Because I have a lot of Armenian friends.
Wow, nailed
and
that.
And it all ends in IAN.
It's true. Yes, absolutely. And Dr. Kevorkian,
Yes.
Woo!
He's uncle.
That's usually, I either get Kevorkian or Kardashian. I'm like, well, those are very interesting, different characters. I guess I'm curious what people think of Armenians if those are the 2 that really.
Oh, the coffee. I just love their.
I think they're both killing America, so either way. I'm just joking. That's just a joke.
So I have a question about your art. Where do people buy it? Do they buy it directly through you? Is it all custom? Is it like...
That's a good point. Thank you for asking that. Actually, most of my work is sold through my key collaborator, which is Sean Kessler at Laser Trees. Sean Kessler and Mark. I should know Mark's last name, but I don't. But their web store has a lot of the work that we've been doing with the laser cut wood pieces, the wood renderings, and those are all limited edition. They're all going to go, there's only 25 of each. There aren't particularly many of the lurking depths, that's the octopus piece left. But anything of that variety would be through him, so the industrial laser cut stuff. My Instagram is where you would communicate with me for illustration or graphic design work. I do a lot of like one-off graphics for, you know, logos or companies, and then, you know, just get it in there. So that'd be the best way to contact me. I'd say Instagram, DaynoArt.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Yes. I'm going to end the video live here, and then I'll come right back, so don't go anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Bye. Say goodbye.
Bye, live friends.
So live ended. That should drop off here.
Maybe.
And then we're still recording, so that's cool for us.
So we still can't pick
so
our
you
noses.
Did bye. I clicked.
This is where I should make silly faces for you to use in the middle of the interview.
Yes.
Bingo.
Every time Abe talks, we'll put one of your weird faces. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, man. This is awesome, dude. This worked.
Oh, really? I was terrified. I'm like, I don't know anything about him. I've seen his art. He has nothing in his profile.
Oh, God.
Talk about.
Dude, I was like, the dude makes fucking kick-ass wood octopus shit. Like, we're going to be able to talk to this dude. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like there was a particular lull in conversation. I felt like that was a really good talk.
I loved it. I loved knowing, like, I didn't know that you were an educator. So that was, like, perfect for what we're doing. And, yeah.
Kick-ass, awesome. It was really badass, man. Yeah, the school concept is really awesome. We'll
have to have you come visit when we launch it. You can.
Yeah, there's a lot of resources around this topic, bro. I didn't know anything about it. The quick backstory there is that when I knew I was going to have a boy, so 5 years ago, I was kind of like, what the shit? Like, I'm a girl dad. My daughter at this point is like 8.5 or something, right? I was a single dad for a while. I really understand raising a daughter in a sense. I love women. I'm all about girls. Like, it's amazing. What am I going to do with a boy? Like, I don't want to dig holes in the backyard. I don't want to chase worms. So I really was kind of like, man, what the fuck?
A worm chase doesn't last very long. It's a shame.
Well, to them, they may want to. I don't know. Like, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this kid.
Dig for worms?
Whatever, man. All of it. So anyways, I read this book, and somehow the book was something about raising free-spirited boys or something. It was pretty cool. But somewhere in there, I read a book called Free to Learn by Dr. Peter Gray. And it was like paradigm shift moment in understanding. So I'm from Iran. My mother's from Mexico. My dad's from Iran. I grew up in a really traditional Middle Eastern home in a sense. And so you do fucking homework. You do grades. Your failing grade shows up at 89, right? Like there is no, hey, I got a C. Hey, I'm passing. Like that shit does not work in a brown home. Oh, fuck no. Everybody's going to become an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer or something epic, right? And so I was having my daughter come home. We were doing extra work together. And I read this book and I was like, stop, not doing that shit with her anymore. And then all of a sudden I looked at school and I went to school about a month after reading this book. And it was kind of crazy, man. I'm sitting there talking to the teacher in a little parent-teacher conference. And the kids are outside in the hallway, and I hear them saying like, okay, everybody, one kid per square, or put a square between each of you, hands behind your back, look to the kid in front of you. And this is at a charter school, right? And I'm like, that's like a fucking prison. That's straight up like a prison. And that was just like the moment before, 1 month before, I'd be like, yeah, that's what you do. You got to discipline, get them in line, right? And after that, I was like, that's fucked up. Like, I wouldn't want that. Why do they need to go through that? And then I think back, and then I think about like all the shit I know how to do really well, I learned on my own. And from any bit of what I could do at HTML, setting up these systems, business stuff, strategy stuff, all that stuff, man. I just learned it. And what's crazy is we have a video out. I'll send you the link to it. We just did a video project for a company called Linear Labs. This is mind-blowing shit, man.
Yeah.
This motor, this electric motor design is completely revolutionary. Fucking epic. They're a startup.
Is it a rotary motor? Sorry, continue.
No, it's an electric motor.
I don't know. Bad pun.
Do you know anything about electric motors?
Oh, enough. Maybe.
Okay. So the way this particular motor design works is that they basically created a cylindrical tunnel. You know, so imagine a motor, right? So it's flat on the sides and rounded, right? So it's cylindrical.
Got it.
So they have a cylindrical magnetic field, 100%. So all the coils on the inside of this magnetic field. And so because of the way they completely surrounded the coiling systems, they turned the coil this way instead of flat, that's usually flat around the top. They turned it 90 degrees, and it is so powerful. There's like with a double A battery. I saw them turn the motor on like an AC fan that was like 3.5 feet in diameter across.
Wow.
Just because it's very, very high torque, because any bit of voltage that goes in causes the magnetic field in the coil to show up, which immediately corresponds or pushes against the magnetic field that's in this cylindrical tunnel, right? It's fucking epic, man. Anyways, the dad who figures this out is now, I don't know, like 67, 68. He'd been working on this for about 9 years. He is a college dropout. He got an electrical trade certificate. He was an electrician, but he's totally mastered electrical engineering, you know? And it's like, it's so amazing, and it's so beautiful to watch people learn the way they want to learn. So totally different concept on education for me.
Well, I feel like we really have a lot of squandered resources now with people who have great skills that they never even get the opportunity to really find or develop.
So we're going to put this out there. If you know anybody that should be covered on this show, please let us know. We're looking for people that are innovative, whether they have a business or not. We're looking for self-directed learners, innovative people who are always learning and trying new things.
Thank you for tuning in to the Becoming Da Vinci show. Join us next time as we learn more about Leonardo and modern-day entrepreneurs.